Oh, we got the guy. The guy is hungry, kids. The guy is hungry. We gotta hurry up. So we got 3 of these, and I gotta figure out how to get down. Oh, that's not too terribly hard. I do want to see if there's anything. There's those. Nothing else of interest up there. There's Forgetful Jones, and he's gonna try to take stuff from us. I need to find, hello? I love the fact that he just Ah! Okay, for the moment there, Grover didn't want to work with me or head in the direction I needed to go. So we've got the items that we need. We just need to avoid, Forgetful Jones, who's trying to lasso our stuff. And we also need to avoid Elmo, who's trying to snatch things off of our tray. Alright, we're doing good. We're starting out well.
3 oranges and...
So what can we talk about next in the old Sesame Street thing? I actually gave just kind of a brief synopsis of why Sesame Street was created. And things of that nature. And by the way, these are being recorded one after the other, so... I guess what I could discuss now is one of my favorite places to visit. When I was a child, I always loved the Muppets. I, reiterate that every time I bring up one of these games. And pretty soon I'm going to run out of Sesame Street games, and I'm not going to be able to talk about them anymore unless I force them into the conversation, which I can do at any time I want. There's Prairie. No, that's Betty Sue, and she's going to try to knock stuff off of my plate as we get a muffin. We need 2 oranges, so I'm not going up just... You know what? Grover's actually... He's not jumping properly right now. Okay, it's because of the fact that there's a slight delay in his turning, and so that's more my fault than anything else. And I'm willing to admit that, okay. You will not steal anything from me, Elmo. So, like, when I found out that there was... Ooh, that's actually a pretty swift and smooth animation. That somewhat shocked me. When I found out that there is a puppetry museum in Atlanta, Georgia, I looked at my wife and I said, you realize we're going there one day. And we've actually been twice. And so 2 of the big highlights of me being able to go to it is, first of all, the first visit, I was able to see not only a lot of the puppets from the Labyrinth, because they had kind of a special showcase of a lot of things from the Labyrinth. And so that was really cool to me. But I got to see Ernie, I got to see Bert, and Ernie was one of my favorite Muppets growing up. He was one of my favorite characters in all of Sesame Street. In fact, one of my favorite gifts when I was a child was I got a rubber ducky. Now, I was slightly disappointed that the rubber ducky didn't, squeak like his did. But I had a rubber ducky, a true blue one, and when I would take my bath, I would have that rubber ducky with me. And I, in my little childish voice, would be like, "Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make back time, what's your fun?" Because, I was a child. I sung things like, I said, "Oscar the Grouch, baby!" And he's trying to steal from us. Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities this go around. Oh, Hooch, you got apples? Oh, I'm just going to cheat then. I'm not even going to search. I'm just like, Hooch, give me what I need. Give me what I want. 3 apples. Dude is eating light today for lunch. I'm assuming he's trying to watch his health. So I got to see Bert and Ernie. That was huge. I got to see Big Bird. And, I understand that as you grew older and became more of a teenager, a young adult, Elmo was the thing. But when I was a kid, it was Big Bird or bust. If Big Bird was not a part of it, nah, forget it. Kids didn't want anything to do with it. Big Bird was a true blue phenomenon. To the point where, I've even read Carol Spinney's book on life as Big Bird. I would love to own the movie, as far as that deals with Big Bird visiting China. Because there's a whole lot to that story as far as his visit there. And even some of the things that they had to deal with the local government. Okay, he's got steaks. I need to avoid the steaks. That would be a big mistake. I can come back to Farley for pie if I want, but I'm guaranteeing you if I just move over here to the side. Okay, I'll only get 2 of what I need. So I will need to rely on Farley here. I think right here's... I missed! Or rather, Farley missed. Alright, there we go. There's a lot they had to deal with the Chinese government and making that movie. Oh no! One of my pies disappeared! Well, we get to see what happens when we miss one. Oh dear. Oh! Oh, man's a little bit disappointed. So let's try this again, and let's try to... Try not to lose our pies, shall we? I don't know how I lost the pie just then. I'm fairly certain I had 3, unless Snuffy snuck one out on me all of a sudden. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, let Snuffy do his thing. I'm nowhere near him, so he shouldn't be able to take from me. Yeah, we got what we need now. So, like, Big Bird was the big thing back then. So seeing Big Bird, and even seeing Little Bird, who is also in this game, was a huge thing for me. And we're talking like a 33-year-old man. Hey, this is like 2 years ago, and I'm going, it's Big Bird. I'm not ashamed of myself either for feeling that way. Because that was huge for me. I also got to see Fraggles from Fraggle Rock. I mean, Fraggle Rock, Jim Henson started that show with the main idea behind it is he wanted to start a television show to end all war. And that's literally what he wanted. He wanted to create a television show that would unite people together as one. You want to talk about having lofty goals for your television show. But that's seriously what Jim wanted when he made it. And so we're talking about a television show that has a lot of deep themes and discussions being directed at children. There are episodes of the show that deal with the subject of death, that deal with the subject of racism, that deal with the subject of one's dreams and things of that nature. I mean, there's a lot of deep subjects that you might not have been able to catch as a child that when you grew up and became an adult, you would look back at it and go, I never realized. Because I did that. I just was, like, enthralled by the puppetry. Like, I knew they were all puppets and things of that nature, but I was always in love with things of that nature. And so being able to see Fraggle Rock was a huge thing to me. Alright, where are you heading, monkey?
Go catch the monkey.
And go catch the monkey. I don't know where he is. I do know he's... Okay, he's over this way somewhere, because he's going to throw a banana at me, and the banana's going to help me understand where he's at. So... Okay, he's up there. There we go. Okay. Because pretty soon he's going to get really high up into the air, and we're going to have to use the shoddy platforming to the best that we can. And there is shoddy platforming to this game. Hey, Cookie Monster's in the window today. That's pretty cool. So we went back again this year to the Puppetry Museum. Actually, back in July we did it. And so it was, by the time this episode goes up... Oh! By the time this episode goes up, it'll be, what, a month, I'm thinking? Because I'm thinking this is going to go up the 4th week of August. So it'll be somewhere around a month, close to 2 months ago. Mumford the Magician is now in the background.
Like 2 oranges, 1 muffin.
And so, we went knowing that there was a special exhibit, this time to the Dark Crystal. And again, big thing to me, Dark Crystal. Loved the movie. Currently reading right now and I understand it's a book more directed towards teenagers. There's Little Bird. Where's Little Bird? Little Bird grabs me by the tuchus and lifts me high into the air. That is kind of freaky looking in all actuality. He looked to be in a lot of pain, just then like, oh! Okay, Hoots, what do you got for me, Hoots? Oranges. Well, Hoots, I think you are who I'm looking for. Go ahead and give me one more of those, and all I'll need is an egg, and I'll be perfect. You slide down, and we need to get up here. And, yep, Farley's going to help us out. He's going to get us what we need, and we can leave this stage now. I wonder if we're going to run into Mumford the Magician. That's who I'm wanting to see. Abraca peanut butter jelly sandwiches is what he would scream.
One muffin.
So the second time we go, you know, we got to see the Dark Crystal stuff.
3 eggs.
I'll possibly talk about Dark Crystal here shortly.
Thank you.
But the character that really made my time there, again, I got to see Bert, Ernie, I got to see Big Bird and Little Bird. That all made me happy. But I got to see Oscar the Grouch, and that, my friends, was awesome to me as well. Because, again, originally voiced by Carol Spinney, and was actually based on a cab driver that Carol Spinney met in New York to take him. I think it was to his first day of work with the Children's Television Workshop, if I remember correctly. And so all of that, you know, just little neat things that you learn, tidbits here and there. And you can tell that I've read a ton of books, probably way too many on the subject of the Muppets, Jim Henson, and so on. Oh, she knocked my egg off! You! How dare you! I'm hoping there's another egg and an orange somewhere around here. Betty Lou, you... I don't have anything else to say, just you. Yep, I got egg here. Okay, I have to go to the other side of that. Alright, so I'm good. I'm set up. I should be able to grab that right there. So now I just need to avoid the snuffy nose. Alright. We're good to go. So, I mean, that was, again, just something really cool for me, being able to see those characters there in front of me. And of course, I also got to see a lot of other characters that I like. Dr. Teeth, who was voiced by Jim Henson, and was the pianist plus the, or I guess I should say the keyboardist, and the lead singer of Electric Mayhem, which featured Floyd Pepper, Janice, Zoot, and of course Animal. And the cool thing about Animal is Animal was based on Keith Moon, the drummer of The Who, because Keith Moon would have this erratic movement when he was drumming, and so they wanted to do that with Animal, is have this kind of erratic movement. We need 4 now instead of 2. Whatever are we going to do? We're going to avoid. Okay, so I'm going to look around for that extra apple that we need. And, yeah, I mean, that's fine. Oop. Let's get Little Bird to carry us up. He looks like he is in pain at the moment. Like, ah! Like, he is being inconvenienced somehow. We might as well grab these hamburgers while we're there and avoid Oscar to the best of our ability. Alright, so that worked out. We just need... we don't need a cookie. Actually, all I really need right now is an apple, because Farley is down there with the burgers, so I just need a burger from him. Okay. There we go. One more burger, and we are good to go. So I've got to avoid Forgetful Jones. Thought I'd avoided him. Shut your hole. I don't care how hungry you are. Okay. Alright. We made it. Look at the time. About halfway through this. I said I wanted to try to record this in 3 episodes. So I'm going to try to pull that off here. 3 episodes. I don't think that's completely and utterly impossible at this point. I need to get me a swig of water, though. I'm feeling a little thirsty. Sorry about that. Now it's time for dinner. So what are you going to feed us today? I said I'd talk a little bit about Dark Crystal, so I've got some time. We're trying to finish these. Like I said, I'm trying to finish this in maybe one in like 3 episodes if I can. I will push this to 4. We will finish this game. Simply because of the fact that I just want to see whether or not I can do it, whether I can push through, and there's nothing on this floor, so we'll just take the ladder up, and we found a piece of pie. We find 2 pieces of steak, and ooh, I made a mistake. That's a missed steak, so we need to go back and let's feed that to Cookie Monster. I wasn't quiet last time we did this. I'll do it now. And so he clears the plate for us. All right, take. Little Bird gets us up there faster. So 1, 2, and then 1. And so now we just slide down. So we got to go up to the top level here, and okay, Ernie has for us some steak. So let's go ahead and grab that steak from him, and I'm assuming bananas are over here, and Mr. Johnson is getting hungry, and we just need to avoid Elmo, at which we have done. Good job, team. I haven't talked about Dark Crystal any, and I said I would.
2 bananas.
So, like, Dark Crystal was a movie that was deadpanned in theaters. Like, when Jim Henson, he wanted to make something outside the Muppets, but he wanted to make something in a completely different world. And so Dark Crystal is what was created. I've read the book, by the way. It's a good book, at least to me it is. Then again, I also like the movie, so I may be very, very partial. But at any rate, the movie was so panned when he made it. The theater executive, or rather I say the theater executives. It's more the movie production executives. I'll say it that way, and hopefully I'll have gotten it right. They said nothing to Jim. They just completely and utterly walked out of the viewing room, and that was basically it as far as what they wanted to say about the movie. They did not like it. They thought that it would be a commercial failure, and it actually was, and a lot of it was, if I remember correctly. Since they did not believe in the movie, they put no effort into trying to get it out there, so it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. But all these years later, Dark Crystal has become somewhat of a okay, we can get this from Hoots and be done with it. A cult phenomenon, to the point where Netflix is actually making a prequel television show that I'm very interested in, but if I am honest, I'm going to say that I don't really have a lot of high hopes for it, because of the fact, for the most part, most Jim Henson productions, without Jim Henson, has completely and utterly failed. And that's nothing against Jim Henson. That's nothing against the Muppets as a whole. That just is what it is. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm not necessarily looking for, I'm not looking forward to this. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm preparing for the worst. In the meantime, though, I am reading a book that's based on this prequel. And Little Bird, take me up. Thank you, Little Bird. I think here's good. I need to see a banana. Where's banana? Alright, so... No! Come on. Come on. There we go. It's like, I need that monkey. they just haven't done that well. But I'm reading a book that's preparing me for it, and Betty Sue. I don't know if the novelization is going to have anything to do with this or not, but we'll find out soon enough, I assume.
Say bye. Waiter.
Alright, so it dropped down from the ceiling. Basically, we're hanging with the monkey, I guess. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this order. We'll talk more about Dark Crystal and even Labyrinth in the next episode as we continue going through Counting Cafe. Oscar the Grouch is in the background today. Yeah, buddy.
2 muffins.